Okay, hey, Don here back again with my second live stream tonight. I went ahead and turned on the laptop like I was talking about doing. I got my mouse in my left hand. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, because we have an unresponsive script. Okay, but my touchpad is working. Let's see. Is the mouse working yet? Nope. I think I got it turned on, yeah. It was working a second ago, I thought. Stop the script and don't. It's a jetpack, the good old jetpack. Okay, so something on this page is too much for a dual core. So I'm going to get off of that page, and then I'll just have to go back to it when when I want to check. But that's quicker. I can reach over there with my mouse, and well, it hasn't come back yet. Oh, I don't have it plugged into the. It was never working. I don't have the deal. I usually leave it plugged in. Let me get it out here and plug it in, dummy. There's a little hideaway in there to keep it in there. I had forgot. I remember I got a little mini keyboard that I used to use on the Raspberry Pi when I had it set up to watch TV on it. Let me plug it in. Now then, the keyboard's already turned on, but I went ahead and turned the mouse off while I was doing that. That pillow really helps me with my neck because it gets tired and it gets sore, especially when something wrong. I don't know. My neck gets tired and it gets sore when I use it. When I go out and worked on the truck, it really got bad trying to hold it up. Okay, now I got a mouse over there. Okay, just remember, don't bother that unless you want to mess with the laptop. Okay, so yeah, I meant to do this a while ago, just for the heck of it. I don't see any reason to point this at my screen, so let's point it at the laptop. Oh, yeah, it was delayed. Yeah, here we go. That's about right, I guess. Whoops, no, it wasn't. It's delayed again, but it seems that every time I get on my desktop and go back, then it's okay. Don't know why. Okay. Actually, I could go on around. There's no point in showing. I can probably show the side of my ugly face up really, really close. Won't that be good? Yeah, everybody will like that. That's going to be extremely no, just a nose. Okay, we won't do that then. Unless it's taking so long to move that I can't tell what it's doing. I can't zoom in. You can't see a thing, the whiteness there. You can't zoom in. You're not going to almost get both screens. I don't know why I'm fiddling with this. Whoop. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to compromise on those two screens just for the heck of it. I probably won't actually. I guess I should go on desktop and then go back. I can't even adjust it. Let's just go on desktop. I kept saying to myself that's what I ought to do, and then I didn't do it. I can't find it now because I moved it. Okay, desktop. That's what I'm going to be doing anyway. But let's go to cam. What was it? Cam 2. Now let's see if when I adjust it, it responds. Yep. I don't know why it's like that, but oh yeah, the black that's set on 1024 by 768 by default because when I have my VGA cable plugged into it that goes to my monitor, my big monitor, that's what it does. In order to do screen mirroring, the same on both monitors. Yeah, can't get it. It's really hard to move this. Oh, I could just move the legs of the tripod. Instead of I'm holding the tripod still and moving the thing. Yeah. That's fine. Now you can kind of see both. Can't make any of it out, but you might have a general idea. Sometimes these cameras do a better job of, showing. It's the white that always washes it out, but at times, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm using. They're all supposed to be set the same, though. I try to keep them set the same. I leave them on autofocus and auto white balance, and because I'm always changing conditions. I don't ever keep the same shot. I learned how to shoot manual years and go with
I used to have a Sony BVP3, and when it was brand new, it was over $10,000 camera, and I got it for, in an auction in the late '90s for like $350, and it was a real studio camera, TV camera, tube camera, but it was a real TV camera. And I used to use that, and I know how to, I had already, I had volunteered on some cable shows, local cable access TV shows, and learned how to run camera. Went to a little training class. I already knew how to use them, before I bought that. And I never did have actually I had a couple of 3/4 decks to use, but I didn't have the cables to hook it up. So I just plugged it into the test output to a VCR, and I would plug them external mic. Well, I'd plug external mic into the VCR, not into the camera. The camera mic, I never had it working either. It was a pretty good mic too. I'm sure it would have been better sound, but that's neither here nor there, and that's way back years ago. Okay, let's go back to what I'm doing. I am updating my Easy to Boot with different new updated Fedora 26 ISOs, some grub boot menu fixing apps, and actually there's one I put on there, that Yummy multi-boot. That's something I built. Yummy is for building a multi-boot CD, DVD, or USB, and I think it'll do DVDs. But anyway, I made an image. I guess the only image I could make with, I don't know what I did it with, but anyway, I have an IMG instead of an ISO. And I saw that, and I thought that maybe have the newer versions of my Super Grub disk and all that stuff that I have here that I want, because these are actually my older versions from my old machine. And so I thought, well, I'm going to put it on there and see. Oh, I still have 3 gig left. I don't think there's anything that I really... If I hadn't put that on there, I would have had room for that new thing I want, Parrot. So I just wanted to play with that, though. So I don't need that right now, and that takes a while to copy, so I'm not going to do that now. There's nothing else I really want or need. If there was anything I really might need, it's that Yummy will boot. I'm not sure it will. I may have already tried it. Go back to I meant to go to my downloads folder. No. Now that I made this extra downloaded videos folder, I did that so that I wouldn't... I didn't want to back those up to Google Photos, and I was backing up my USB drive to Google Photos until this is the whole point. My AS Rock that had Windows 7 64-bit on it, the boot broke on it. It evidently locked. See, I had it. I was just running it via remote desktop. I didn't have a monitor plugged in or a keyboard. I just had 2 things: a PS2 keyboard for emergency use, like to hit Control-Alt-Delete. To reboot it, and instead of having to hard shut it down, because that's usually doesn't break Windows as quickly as hard shutdown does. So it's fine with Linux. You can hit hard shutdown all day. Well, maybe not all day, but very, very seldom do I have troubles when I have to do that. And I'm talking hard shutdown is when you hold the button in for 4 seconds until it shuts down. Sometimes it'll just go right down, depending on what's wrong with the operating system. But anyway, it kept happening the other day, and I didn't want to drag it out and mess with it and plug in cables to it so I could see it. And finally, it just wouldn't. I couldn't connect to it anymore. I was connected to it. Everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, my remote desktop, I was doing via remote desktop, it wasn't responding. And so all of a sudden, it wouldn't respond. So I thought, well, I'll just disconnect and reconnect, and usually that'll fix it. It's just like something went wrong on the network connection. That didn't fix it. And so then I had to hard shut it down again, and then it would never work again after that. That's when I'd end up doing it a bunch of times. And so evidently it broke while it was sitting there running somehow. And I did scan it once with Bitdefender virus rescue, system. And it was come up perfectly clean. And there's usually something on it. It's a brand new system, so there shouldn't be anything on it, and there wasn't. But so the boot was broke, and I tried several of my apps on my old CDs and stuff, and one of them I thought said fixed it, but then it still won't boot. The built-in system for Windows, it never can fix it. It didn't fix it, so I'm going to go through these and see what I've got. Let's see. So I thought, well, I need more updated ones, and I had some older Fedoras on here that I didn't want, so I deleted them. on this easy to boot. My USB sticks are only 2 gigabytes. I can't put a lot on them. And actually I have Fedora on one and Debate on the other for installing. I also have to use them for installing, and usually so I'm always erasing those and rewriting them, because you can't install from hardly any of these. I did install Windows 7. Actually, that 64-bit, I believe I installed it from this easy to boot, from one of these ISOs right here. It was, yeah, the Windows 64-bit, not professional, home premium. That's what I had on there. Oh, I still have professional. Yeah, that's what would go on my laptop if I decided to put that back on there. I'm beginning to debate about doing that because I like that being the machine I use very much. I don't really want, well, because of the hard drive size. I've got only like, I don't know, I think a 250 gigabyte hard drive on the laptop. No, it's smaller than that. I think it's 120 gig. And I had it divided in half with Linux and Windows 7, and I filled it up, both sides, real quick. And so I didn't like that. And plus, I don't like having it sitting there running. It makes noise anytime it's working because the fan is old and rattly. And it will lock up. Anything that I really want to do with it, it just can't handle it. Although it does have more video memory, like 348 megabytes of onboard laptop video memory. Well, but it's onboard memory on that ASRock too, and it has 3 gig of RAM. The ASRock, but ASRock's an AMD processor. It's not it's like the economy grade one though. It's not the faster one, and it's only dual core, but it has 2 gig of RAM. And I don't know what it has in video memory, but I think it's 256 or something like that on board of that ASRock motherboard. But it's a cool motherboard. I can go up all the way to an 8-core processor. I could do DDR2, DDR3. I could add a video card. I could really build it up if I wanted. The only limitation is it will only do like up to, I think, 8 gig of RAM. And I definitely would want more than that. I keep wanting to say it'll only do 4 gig of RAM. I'll have to look again. Maybe it's 4 on DDR2 and 8 on DDR3. I don't remember. But anyway, I just thought but on the other hand, I thought, well, I'd rather just buy a new motherboard that'll do like 32 gig of RAM at least. Until I discovered that people are actually figured out how to put video cards in old servers, and you can get them fairly cheap. That's what I want now. Except for it to be too loud for in here. I don't know where I'd put the darn thing. But I've been doing remote. I do remote desktop all the time. I do virtual machines all the time in VirtualBox, and so it wouldn't be a big, huge learning curve for me to move into servers. And I run a web server, have for years and years. But I usually just get an old desktop and turn it into a server. So that's all right up my alley. But anyway, why am I talking about that? I have no idea. Just on my mind. I'm tired. I was going to do this all day long. I didn't feel good all day, and then after about supper time, my mind started clearing up a little bit. Obviously not a whole lot. And I wanted to do this, so after supper I started doing it. And it took me until about an hour ago to even get online because my audio and video was out of sync. And I kept having to change settings and adjust and do tests. So I've had fun today. So anyway, yeah, you can install, but you have to have, well, it's not always that way, but because I already had files on my Easy to Boot, the USB, it's not a USB, it's really an SD card that's in a USB adapter. I already had a bunch of files that I didn't want to. I didn't know a place to put them, I think was the thing at the time. I didn't have my big USB drive at the time. And so I left them on there, and I kind of did it the harder way rather than reformatting. I did it in this other way, and what, for some reason, in order to be able to install with this thing, I have to have another USB stick with this helper file on it that causes it all to work, and that's how I had to do it. But it did not work in Fedora 25. I tried it. So, but it did work in Windows 7 64-bit from what I remember, I think. I know I didn't put it on my 2 gigabyte SD card because it's like 3 gigabytes. It wouldn't fit on there. I mean, 2 gigabyte USB stick. And I don't believe I burned I could have burned a DVD and done it that way, but I don't think I did. So anyway, I guess I shouldn't be talking about it. I can't even remember. And then in this other thing that I put on here, I showed all the Linux stuff, the Hirons boot CD. It wouldn't boot, and it said the file's not contiguous. You need to run make files contiguous. That was the error I got, but I thought, well, I went ahead and did a fresh copy of it on there. And you'll see one of them has .iso, the file extension, and the other one, this one was already on there, .iso WinVH. I believe that's what they told you to do to make it boot right. So I'm going to leave them both the way they are, and then if, like if this one with WinVH still doesn't work, I'll delete it and try the other one and just name it, ISO WinVH, because that's what they told you to do on some of them. Is to, if they wouldn't boot and under certain circumstances, you could rename them this or that or the other. I mean, it's almost like learning a whole new operating system to learn how to run this and set up this easy to boot. But it will, once you get it set up though, it's all you have to do. This is what I'm doing. You just delete the ones you don't want, copy the ones you want on there, and most of the time, go boot it. But sometimes, and I don't know what the circumstances are, I can't remember. Sometimes you need to run this make files contiguous app that is only a Windows app. So I have to go do that in the virtual machine. So I'm going to get out of here. That's the SD card, 32 gigabyte SD, and then that's my Seagate expansion drive that I had have a lot of my stuff on. My older backups are all on my old machine, or that has 4 hard drives in it. Still doesn't have that much space. It still doesn't have a total. It has about, I don't know, 2 gigabytes of space or 3. Okay, so let's get out of here so we won't be, because it's going to have to be, get in my videos folder. I like to keep them newest first so I can get to things that I want to. Yeah, that's video's still working. And if I want to check my live stream, well, before I'll go check my live stream. Okay, I'm on desktop. Okay, now, yeah, I'm going to close Crusader to give the machine as little to do as possible. I think I'll leave my system monitor on as long as it's not, because that's the only way I can kill an app quickly and to see what's going on, like what's using everything up or not, or if everything's okay. So I'm going to get in VirtualBox, start my Windows XP in VirtualBox, and and while that's going on, I'll just hit my back button on my laptop and check my stream. That's nice to be able to do that, but I won't leave it there all the time because then the machine will be overworked. It's already running the fan. Okay, yep, I'm live. 18 minutes. Okay, and I can even see if anybody tried to chat with me once or twice. That did happen. Oh, I can see XP. Wait a minute, I see XP. What? Oh, it didn't blue screen. I thought it blue screened. I saw over there on my laptop, I saw blue screen. I was like, what? It's doing check disk. That's fine. It must have needed to do it for some reason. I don't think I scheduled it to do like automatically. It must have been something kind of went wrong. You know what? I might have, I think I had to power it off once or twice because it was not, actually it might have been, I started to mention that and I thought, well, we'll wait and see if it even tries. Oh, and the stupid laptop keeps doing that script error. Even if you say stop script and don't ask me again, it still won't kill the script automatically. It never does. So I got to get off that page. You can't. Well, hello. Remember that sound? Probably it will come up trying to. I think it was updates that wouldn't finish, and I didn't want to wait on them. I think is what it was. I let it try to install them, and it was at that screen where don't turn off your computer or installing updates, and I waited for hours one day, and I can't really do much of anything else. So I was on another. I think I was over here on the laptop messing with the Bane, and it says the BAS is out of date, but it will update itself here in a minute. But yeah, I do get Windows updates until 2019 on this XP virtual machine because it is a winter, according to the registry settings that I have in it. So any of those Windows terminal systems do get that, and all this crap on the news about all these machines that got, that encrypted their hard drives and everything because they're so stupid they were running out-of-date systems. Well, any commercial system, even if it is XP, is still going to get security updates until 2019 before they started putting out all these new updates. Unless nobody's that stupid to just turn off updates, when they're there. Any of these IT people that are good enough to get a job in IT, they know how to do that. If I know how to do it, I know they do. And I know a couple of programmers and stuff. My friends that are programmers got me into Linux. There are unused crap on your desktop. Yes, I used to know how to turn that crap off. Okay, so let's go see how my system's doing. Yeah, see now VirtualBox is using 26%. OBS is using 23%. I got to turn that volume down. You can't do it with the volume knob. You got to drag that bar down. But it's not using but 55 megabyte of memory, so that's cool. It will go up. It'll go up to about a gig, probably. How can it only use that much? There must be some more processes to do with that VirtualBox in there. Let me see if I can see. LibVirt, yeah, there's a whole bunch more, but none of them are using a lot right now. So they probably will when I start using it, making it work. But I don't think that CPU usage is really going to go down much. But I think shared memory, yeah, okay. That's where the gig of memory is. What? So, are we talking about, I don't know what that, for sure, if that's RAM or, that's what I was thinking when I saw that gig. That's, I don't know if that's RAM or if it's, it may be saying, see, all these apps are using shared memory. That's not disk cache, is it? That's not. I think that's, you know what? I haven't really paid attention to that. Memory, shared memory. I don't know why. Now it's still using a lot. Yum Chrome, oh, we don't need any updates right now, please. Yeah. So anyway, as long as the machine will work, I'll keep going. And my stream was okay a minute ago, so I won't mess with it. That's doing that again. I think it'll quit if you do that and hit cancel. There's something you can do to turn that off. This has I don't use it very much, just when I need to do something. So what you have to do though, see my USB stick is mounted right there. It doesn't have an icon for some reason, it used to. But 32 gigabyte SD. So I have to go up here to devices, USB, and it's actually not going to say that. It's going to say generic mass storage device. I know the Seagate expansion drive is my big drive, and my darn letters keep getting in the way. USB camera. I bet you could use that in there. That's my endoscope, and I started to unplug it, but I thought, well, it doesn't seem to be showing up as a huge user of resources, so let's just see if it'll work. My mouse and my keyboard, HP mouse, my Microsoft mouse, HP keyboard. That's one thing Microsoft did good. They made a good mouse. I've got one of those. It's very old now, but it's a 4-button mouse. You can go back and forwards in your browser and in some applications with these little side buttons and a roll wheel. And I can't use anything else. I've had it for years. And my HP keyboards, I actually have 2 of them. I liked the first one so much I bought another one. I got them first one for $15, the second one for $12. And I wished I'd had more money. I'd have bought 10 of them just so I could always use them. It's an HP multimedia keyboard. Guess I should show it sometime. I can talk about it sometime. So stop jabbering and do your stuff. Generic mass storage. Okay. It's loud enough it's probably getting picked up on the Shure mic, even though it has a background noise canceling built into it. Well, not per se like the new phones and stuff or whatever. It's, when they say that, it's really more about the frequency response that causes that. And the pattern, the pattern of the mic pickup. That's the biggest factor, really. I guess they're kind of hand in hand. So, it doesn't show you on the desktop. You got to go to Explorer to see if it's there, or My Computer. So let's go to My Computer and change it to folders. I hit search by accident, and it'll take forever to come out of that.
check on everything while I'm waiting. Yeah, okay. But yeah, you know, that really, I do know I gave 1 gig to the XP system. Okay, I guess what shared memory, yeah, shared memory would be in this instance here. Or maybe that's, you know, and it may be that way in all operating systems, and I just haven't been paying attention for all these years. I think sometimes I remember, I catch on to stuff and then I forget it, but that would be shared among, as needed, you know. So it's not all being used. What's being used right now is by VirtualBox. Well, VirtualBox is using 57 megabytes. I know that Windows XP is not using 165, another 1.1 gig of memory. Doesn't need that. You know, it's probably using maybe 300 megabytes right now. And then OBS Studio, well, it says it's using 439, you know, yeah, 429 megabytes, and then the shared part 106. Of course, I have 4 gigs, so 3.7 gig, because see, it's got onboard video, so 3.7 gig of usable memory. So anyway, as long as it's working. Okay, now my computer came back to life here while I was waiting. Okay, so Seagate expansion drive. Oh, I think I set that to already automatically. Yeah, I did automatically share that. I was like, what's that doing in there? Because I didn't click on the wrong thing, did I? I might have. Could have accidentally clicked on it instead. Downloads, well, I have that as shared folder. But the one that I tried to put in there, I don't see it. Let's go to a different folder and go back and see. I got to turn that sound down. That's driving me crazy. Where's the sound button? I noticed that that's one of the things. Most everything works. It's probably updating the VAS and all that stuff. It went to its own places. I must be missing my clicks. Or maybe it did it because when I first started out, I don't know what's going on with it. Anyway, yeah, that's not, there we go. Where's the sound button? I know I put that in there. You know what, it probably broke. Because I went in here to Task Manager, and I put that sound so that I could adjust the sound. Oh no, that's not what I want. I don't want to kill anything. I guess it's in, oh, toolbars, links, quick launch icon, quick launch. No, I guess it's properties. Maybe. I really need it. I need to turn it down. And I need to be able to turn it up and down at will. But I don't see it. I remember you have to pay attention and get to the right. See if that one will do it. No, that's the same thing. Maybe it's in toolbars. I don't think it's quick launch. But I'll go, yeah, that's that, and I don't like that. I hate it. So I thought. Now it's there. Now I can't get it to respond. See, it's pretty much all this thing can do to just run OBS in this virtual and this Windows 7, Windows XP. Yeah, shouldn't fool around with all that, should I? Okay. Oh, now all that junk's down there. Oh, it wasn't through. That's why it wouldn't respond. I don't want that desktop. Okay. Surely I could remember that. I did it not too long ago. Task Manager? No. Okay, so I don't remember how to get to it. Customize, maybe that was it. Nope. Okay. And I thought XP always had that down there by default too. I'm going to have to quit fooling with everything, ain't I? Okay, hit cancel. Well, you can go up and it's okay. I'll leave it alone. It's not going to kill me. What I need to do is find out why my
Let me look up here at USB. Mass storage. Okay, it's clicked. Okay, let's go see. And it's gone. So it should be accessible to the machine, but I don't see it. I see CD, Seagate. Let's go to downloads. I just did that to get. Actually, I have to be able to see it to do what I'm wanting to do here. So it's not showing up. Let's see if I can see it in Total Commander. Usually you can see it in Windows Explorer quicker than you can see it in Total Commander. Total Commander is my favorite Windows twin panel file manager, but it's Windows doesn't like to let it do everything. And I used to know how to set everything where I could do anything I wanted with it, but you know, since I've been using Linux since 2005, I forget a lot of that stuff. I was looking at my stream while I'm waiting on that to open up. Let's see. But let's take advantage of that camera 2. Yeah, okay, you can see that I'm got XP up in there, and now if I want to go, what I have to do is go ahead and get off there. Now see, it won't respond. You probably can't. We can kind of see that maybe. It didn't respond. I tried to use my arrow to go forward to just my home page is what it was, but it won't do anything because of that script on this page. There it goes. You don't see it. Oh, my camera's behind. There it goes. You can barely see that script error. And I'll say, don't ask me again, stop script, and it will do it again every single time I go on that page. Okay, so I'll get off of it. Yeah, that camera is really behind. Doesn't matter. I'm going to go back to my screencast anyway. Okay. Have a drink. Okay. Commander's back up. Total Commander. Total Commander. It used to be Windows Commander, and Windows sued them and made them change their name on that special. What is that? That's my downloads folder? Yeah, that's my downloads folder. Downloads. The only thing that's showing up is my big Seagate drive, and it is there, and it's accessible. Huh. I guess because I put it as a shared, you know, I might have to go ahead and add that 32 gigabyte as a shared drive in my setup and reboot, because it didn't work. It works with regular USB sticks. Even though it's, you know, oops, cancel. That's not what I wanted to do. I was trying to close Total Commander. But that's what I'm going to have to do because it's not showing up. I can't access it. Even though it let me check it and it didn't give me an error, it's not there. I mean, by now it would have showed up if it was going to, I believe. And I used to always keep that view as my default. There's so many settings in here that are not to my liking. Okay, so, yep. You can reload, it won't help. Yeah, I remember that now. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I'll do that to make sure it should mount right back up. It should come back up here in my Linux system here in a minute. Might take a little bit, I don't know. But I'll have to shut down XP. It's probably a good idea to do it before it gets trying to do an update or something, because it will start doing updates. So I'm going to turn off the computer. I need that sound thing working. I hate that giant noise. It doesn't take too long to boot it up. Sometimes it takes way longer to shut it down. Well, it does when it's in the middle of updates for sure. But yeah, I don't know why it keeps defaulting to the loudest. I'm just going to have to go in there and find that control app and turn it down next time. Oh, it is in the middle of updates. 4 of 10. Last time it was stuck on 6 of whatever, 6 of 11 or something. Now see, this is why it was doing check disk, and that's why all my settings that I did have set are jacked up. Now in the virtual box you can just do that and say power off machine. It'll go immediately down, but it may have to run check disk again. Usually it doesn't happen unless you do it several times, which I had done, I think. So my settings, I need to add, let's go see if that thing came back up. It didn't come back up. I'm going to have to unplug it and plug it back in because I don't think it remounted. I hope it didn't get it out of whack where I'd have to reboot to get it to, uh-oh. Well, it kind of did jack things up. I may go ahead and mount here in a minute, though. But I need to have it mounted before I share it. It won't show up to share. It might have still been mounted, even though it wasn't showing up here on the desktop. Or it might have been in the middle of mounting, and I was in too big of a hurry. Let me go up here and see if it's going to be in there. Sometimes it doesn't show on the desktop, but I can see it in Crusader. So, yeah, there it is. Let's see if we can get to it. If I have to reboot the machine, that means I have to stop my stream to do that. Uh-oh. Yep, it's not. Let's go to my Seagate drive and see. Yeah, that's still okay. Okay, yeah, it's nothing in there. Nothing's mounted in that. That's where they mount is Run Media Dawn in Fedora Linux. It used to be in the normal just media folder or MNT mount folder. Let me try taking it out and put it in again. Go a little slower this time. Sometimes when you have trouble, like, you know, mounting it in the XP and all that, you have trouble with your Linux box too. Probably wouldn't have been the best idea to go ahead and unplug that camera. I guess if I end up having to shut down, I will do that. No sense in it trying to work harder for no real good reason. I was sitting there thinking, I wish I could just switch my stream over to the laptop, but you can't do that. I don't have OBS Studio on the laptop, and this is what's running OBS Studio. Okay, so yeah, if I were to go to shared folders and say add, I couldn't go to it because, well, it is showing up in there. Oh, maybe it mounted. Should I say auto mount? Let's don't say auto mount. I don't want it auto mounting. I say, oh, do you have to? Oh, you can't say okay, probably because it didn't see it. Yeah, it did never mount again. Dang it. Well, this stuff that usually works good. Well, I guess it usually does. That's, you know, I remember now. This is basically my fault for forgetting. I remember now that's what needs to be done. I think the last time I got into that thing, I ran into this, and I had to. What I did was share it, and then, of course, the next time I booted up and it wasn't there to be seen, then it's you know, gave me an error, so I had to unshare it. So I kind of remember that now. Okay, so let's go over here, and I'll check my stream one more time, and then I'm going to have to shut down the stream. And what time is it? 12:23. I've been trying to get up early and go to bed early. Well, I'm not doing that tonight, am I? I want to do this, but also I'm saying, well, should I keep going or wait till tomorrow? Let's see, what do I have to do? Unplug that, reboot everything, except for I don't have to necessarily reboot the laptop, and do that again. Oh, it takes so long sometimes. Well, normally it doesn't take hours to set my video up. Normally it just takes 10 or 20 minutes. But, well, once you get it set up, there's that script again. Once you get it set up, so that I can't even, I can't continuously monitor my stream on the laptop because of that. That script error has come and gone over the years, and maybe it'll get fixed soon, hopefully. But yeah, I'll go ahead and restart once, and if I have any more trouble, I think I'm going to have to call it quits, because, I mean, there's no point in staying up forever when I'm tired already anyway. Gets confusing when you see that your video is in your preview is behind what you're doing. Then you're like, well, can I quit now? But it kind of works itself out. Well, actually, my OBS is 20 to 30 seconds. It holds it for 20 to 30 seconds before it gives it to YouTube. It caches it so that there won't be drop frames. It's to help prevent drop frames. So that's one reason why there's a little bit of a delay. Yeah, 20 or 30 seconds. That's a pretty good delay. So I always forget that. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to have to reboot this machine and take that stick out of there. It'll boot to it. Take that, it'll see it when on the reboot probably and boot to it. Take that out of there. I'll reboot, and I'm going to take the camera out. If I need that, I can always plug it back in. Of course, I have it plugged in the back, and that's something it's hard to do in the middle of a video, but I don't really see another need for that endoscope right now. That was just so I can show the. I'm always talking about these SD cards, and I haven't really showed a really good view of them, so I thought I wanted to do that on that first video tonight. But I'll go ahead and do it, and then I'll come back and kind of finish up what I'm getting started here. Of showing what I'm talking about. Of the next step is to run Makefiles contiguous in XP. I don't even have another Windows system that's running right now. I have this XP. I have an old laptop with XP, and the 7's broke, and everything that had 7 is broke. I didn't want to. I just wanted one after having so much trouble with them. I don't want to maintain that many Windows systems. They're a pain in the butt. You get Linux up and running, it hardly ever breaks. You can have a bunch of them and just use them when you want to, you know. Only thing is, if you don't run them much, you know, then they're going to need to run updates. But okay, let's get out of here. Come back in a little bit. All right, this is Don. Bye-bye.